At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.
Residential Tech Talks, lighting specialist, residential tech.
All right, we are back on the Residential Tech Talks podcast and joined right now by Skyler Meek, CMO of Lunar Walls and Just Video Walls.
Yes.
Appreciate you taking the time and hopping over, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having us. This
Not
is
a far,
awesome.
you guys are kind of close, right, to where we're sitting?
Yeah, we're
right
like
now?
right across the street over there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. A little catty corner-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, first of all, how's it going? How you doing?
Oh, man, like I have not stopped talking for like 48 hours, dude. It's crazy.
Right.
I mean, the show just opened like an hour ago.
Yep.
In the first 10 minutes, we were swarmed, absolutely swarmed. We don't have enough booth people to even talk to everybody. It's
Jeez.
crazy. This
Yeah.
is an incredible show for us this year, so we're just super thankful to be here, man.
Now, were you guys, so obviously those that know me, my first CEDIA back on this side of the industry in a little bit, but second CEDIA for the
This
brand?
Is, officially our third.
Third? Okay.
Yeah, this is our third one.
This feels like a big coming out party, though. Like the presence that you guys have. I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're like across the aisle from yourself too. Like you have multiple spaces. Talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, we have two booths.
Yep.
This is definitely a launch party for Lunar Walls, right?
Yeah.
You can see the giant spaceman hanging above the booth, you know.
Yep.
But we've definitely invested a lot into this category.
Yeah.
And we've done that because we're getting just a ton of attention from dealers who are ready to go. Like they're looking at micro LED, but they just kind of have, like, some of them haven't dipped their toes in quite yet.
Yeah.
And we are propelling this category. Like our number one goal is to make integrators successful in micro LED, and the amount of stuff that we've done on the back end to make that work it's just mind blowing. But then now we're getting dealers who are coming to the table and they're like, hey, all right, my customer's asking for it. I've heard about you guys. Like, tell me what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely burgeoning, and there's an incredible opportunity here for the integrators to build this category for them. So that's what we're doing. Is we're trying to make it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And you guys have, I'm sure most have heard it by now, but I want to get you to do it on in podcast format. The story behind this company coming together, the integrators that they saw a problem. They're like, you know what, we're going to go very integrator-esque, right?
Right, yes.
Go solve it. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and hopefully I'm not too long. It's a
I
fun
love it, though.
story,
You can be.
Yeah, so Ryan and Angel are two founders, 30 years in the integration world, and did a lot of commercial and residential. And they had a client come to them asking them for, micro, like we're seeing these like in other bars and nightclub, whatever. And they did it. They actually bought from a supplier, and just a total train wreck, absolute disaster. There was about 1,000 things that went wrong, and they're handy enough to make stuff work. But it was a process where, it was like either we figure this out or we never do it again. Yeah. Right. And that was sort of the question that we had to come across to really make the decision. And so Ryan and Angel, being who they are, decided to go all in on it. And it was probably a 6-year process of just figuring out what all is right and wrong about the category. Because being integrators, like, you look at it and you're just thinking from the shoes of any of the guys walking around the show floor, and it's like, how do they have the time to do any of this, or the resources to go in and figure it out? Nobody does, right? We're all just going back and forth, like, I got my kid in my arm while I'm like writing quotes, you know what I'm saying, at like 12 o'clock at night. The next morning I'm going and pulling cable in a house. Like, there's just no way. So we decided that somebody's got to do this for integrators, and that's what we've done. And so it's been a much longer process on the front end than what you see as far as our presence. So our presence is like 3 years old now, but it was years and years of vetting and learning
Right.
and understanding and trying. 10 projects in.
Yeah.
Just seeing where all the bodies are buried, basically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eliminating them. Right?
Make sure, hide the evidence,
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
out of there.
Yeah.
This never happened.
That's right.
Now, like going from that integrator mindset to effectively manufacturing it, like what's that? Is there a big shift in how you have to think and approach things?
Not if you're. So it's a big shift when you are trying to solve it for other people.
Right.
Right. But it's not a big shift in what you're actually solving, because what essentially what we're doing is we were solving it for ourselves.
Right.
Right. And what we solve for ourselves is what every other integrator needs.
Yep.
So it wasn't a big jump from that standpoint, but now we're thinking even more ahead, right? And we're hearing from integrators, and we're, now that we're scaling and doing hundreds of walls, we're seeing more and more and more and more and more, and so we're just every day constantly going back to the drawing table, like, okay, hey, this integrator experienced this, how do we solve that?
Yep.
So now we've stopped thinking from our own experiences, and we've started living through the shoes of our integrators as an entire company.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. It's been really cool, because I'm going around to a whole bunch of integrators, and we're just doing videos to promote them.
Yeah.
And while I'm out there, I see things even, right? And every single person in this company does that. People go to the install, and they're like, hey, this integrator needs this, and it's always feedback.
Yeah.
And then we'll immediately go and make changes. There's
That's very integrator of you.
There's almost no red tape sometimes.
Right.
There's a little thin red tape, but it allows us to be nimble and really actually solve those problems. We're on our 5th gen main cabinet now, and it's the best cabinet in the world. The tolerance on this thing are just nuts. We have this, it's just the CNC machine that it's required to build these cabinets is bonkers.
That's awesome.
And those just come directly from feedback.
Right, and it was impressive to see. I know, I briefly got into the demo room that you had set up in, what was it, Arizona at HTSA?
Yeah.
And it was, even in that setting, I know you had some really cool partnerships in the room too to help show it off and make it an incredibly impressive demo. And it was mind blowing, man.
That wall was pretty wild, because we almost didn't do any panel alignment on it at all.
Wow.
Which speaks to the
Simplicity.
how good the cabinet is that we're using. And you can spend with a bad cabinet, a poorly designed cabinet, you could spend days.
Yeah. Getting everything
trying to
right.
fine tune it, and that's time.
absolutely.
Our integrators sell
They don't
time.
have that.
There's just no time for that, right? So that wall that you're talking about just came together so beautifully, and
that's awesome.
That's the end goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We really focus on quality. We have 3 gates of quality in our process. This was one of the first things that we realized, you order something, and here's this panel and here's this panel. Why don't these look the same? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe not every single person out there would notice it, but I'm pretty sure your high-end client who just spent $100,000, $200,000 is probably going to notice it. And let's not take that risk. Right. So there's a really strict QC process. We have an incredible third-party team who they send us gigabytes of data every wall, and we reject probably 65% of product that is offered on the line.
Wow.
And it's just things like dead pixel, or a pixel that's just slightly off, or the uniformity of the blacks isn't exact to what we want.
Right.
There's about 100 items on a checklist that we go down every single wall. Then we build it fully in our QC facility in Fort Lauderdale, and we still find stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But what that does is it basically filters down the entire process, so that what ends up going to the dealer is always the best.
Yeah.
And so the wall will last forever.
Right.
Because we've weeded out all the things that could go wrong already in the QC process. And that way, 0 pain to the integrator. They show up, they look like heroes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing the client has to say is I love it, right? and they're inviting us in, you've seen our YouTube videos. They're inviting us into their homes, and we just did one in Atlanta, which is a 20-foot wide wall in this dude's incredible house.
Unreal.
And it'll be launching in a couple weeks, but the guy sat there and talked to me for like an hour.
Yeah.
You know, just totally stoked. Like
Yeah.
it was just it just speaks to.
I think there's
why.
a level of trust too, right, from the integrator community, because they know, like, everything you just described is the things that they would be doing,
Right.
and they know the seats that you came from, as this company comes together, and like they know that this product has been vetted with an eye that matches their own, and
Right.
and it takes all of that work that they would have been doing out of it, and they can trust it and
Right.
know it's something that's just going to work.
Again, it's what did we need? We also needed to learn like how you sell.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think the temptation is to focus on like, well, how many nits is it?
Right.
Right? Or
right.
how many bits is it? Or
Yeah.
how many this and that? Like, and we have incredibly high performing products that can match whatever spec it needs to be.
Right.
But we just don't start there.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's like, tell me about the project.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, how far away are you from the wall?
Yep.
What are you watching, right? Are you a sports guy? Are you this and that? You know, are you trying to fill the space of the wall? Do you want something incredibly immersive? And then we offer our dealers a tool that basically just tells them what product it needs to be.
Right.
Right? You tell us how many HDMIs or DPs or whatever it is. From our 200,000 possible processor combinations, we filter that down into a single one
Right.
that is the right one for your job.
Yeah.
And there's like probably, I don't know, 100 billion edge cases. Dude, when we were
Right.
programming this tool, like it was like every 5 minutes, I'm like, what do we do about that? Like, we got to write something to figure out how to, like,
The
some of the
tinkering never
processors,
ends.
you have 2 output cards and they don't work in a
Right.
certain way. And it's like, like, how do we get around that? But no surprises, right? It's
right,
the goal.
absolutely. No, that's awesome. Well, talk a little bit too. You mentioned it, the coming out party for Lunar Walls.
Yeah.
Explain the difference between the brands and kind of what
Right.
their purposes are.
Yeah. So Just Video Walls is ultra high-end custom, right? And so we have the absolute best processing you can get in the market today. All of it's based on Novastar. They're a really strong partner with us. But Just Video Walls is just custom all the time.
Right.
Like, do something really crazy and really cool, or you just want the best possible experience you can possibly get.
Yeah.
That's Just Video Walls, right? We do 80-foot wide walls in a $200 million garage, right?
Right.
We also do really high-end art pieces, right? But Lunar Walls was an answer to the dealers who were like, well, what can we get that's a little bit more competitive in pricing, right? But I can sell without going through a custom design every single time.
Right.
That I can get off the shelf from a distributor or from you guys, right?
Yeah.
Lunar Walls was the answer to that, right? So we built a few products. We've got an Expanse product, which is units of TVs, right? So the idea is to have a true TV alternative that they can sell through, and it actually makes sense from a sales standpoint to a person who, is the average consumer or, like a technology integrator at a, like an education system or something, right? Yeah. So we hand them a list of products with an completely pre-configured processor included. All of the presets are all done.
Yep.
The wiring is all set up. The documentation's all done, and you can order it in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Without waiting 6 weeks for pricing to come through.
Right.
So we decided, like, okay, we need to probably separate this as a different brand because it needs to be marketed to and presented completely differently than Just Video Walls.
Right.
And so that's what Lunar Walls is it allows us to answer the need for the integrator to have that more custom but ready to go, or less custom but ready to go product.
Yeah,
That
no,
makes sense.
you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, is you guys continuing to find as integrators, like, oh, this is an addressable market, let's go do it.
Right.
And just continuing to take that approach. And it's, just a complete story that you're able to tell.
Yeah, but still benefiting from the quality process, right? And everything that we're doing as a company to make sure integrators, really have the tools and they can rely on it and repeat it over and over again.
Yeah.
And something that I think is really important to recognize is serving the integrators is serving the end user.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
If we were a different company and we were just focused on like getting our prices as low as possible or just scaling as fast as humanly possible, like we would focus on transactions, right? And we would just go out there and be like, here's a cabinet, go have fun, sell as many as you possibly can.
Right.
Right. That's not what serves the end user.
Right.
Okay. The end user needs the integrator and the reliability that they bring to the table through just video walls and lunar walls.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was saying a minute ago, like you don't want in your house to have a terrible wall experience that lasts a year and then all of a sudden you got a whole thing out and you have no solution.
Right.
You have no spares. You have no whatever. Right. That is not acceptable to us. And it actually is driven from the end user, but it's pushed through the integrator.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we take this approach to the integrators because it is 100% the right thing for the end users.
I love it. It's an incredible mindset, and it's like almost refreshing to, like, it gets me excited to hear that. It's awesome to hear you talk about it in that way, and again, like integrators should be too, right? Because that's what, you cut from that cloth is what you are, and it's awesome to see it play through in this and kind of what you guys are doing, and I think speaks to how you've been able to be so successful so quickly too. It may not feel quickly, like looking back at the time it took to get there and then launch and everything, but still.
I mean, it's definitely happening fast. And we're very aware of that. But I'll tell you something. Like we just had a rep meeting like the day before the show opened.
Right.
And I'm sitting there in this room with like a sea of like 50 people. And I got a little bit emotional because we've put so much effort into this company, and people are responding.
Man.
And it's just confirming like you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And then we've got people like Jim Koenig who are with us on the exec team, and Ryan and Angel, and these people are just real. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
cool.
and we all believe the same thing. But then the people that we've hired all are of the same vein. Every one of them. Like, and it's like, it really feels like a dream sometimes because, hiring the right people is usually really difficult. It's usually really difficult to find them. But everybody's coming to us because they see this is the right way. And they understand it.
You're building a culture, building a path, and like people are buying into it. And like we could have a whole nother podcast and conversation around that, man. But it's true because it like at the end of the day, like people are going to buy into if they see it and believe in it. And again, I think it even goes back to just like what we were talking about with the trust in the product. It starts with trust in the people. And you guys are doing it and rocking it, and it's been incredible to watch. It really has been. So. Thank you. I got to unfortunately close with one question because I've been asking with everyone. The stated goal at this show, for you guys, you got a lot going on. What is the one thing that you're hoping to accomplish, by end of day tomorrow?
So I think if you look at our presence at the show and you see we have 2 booths, it's to show integrators the opportunity that's on the table, and for them. And I'm not saying that like we are the opportunity. I'm saying the category of micro LED is on the table, right? And it's time for you to like get into it. You know what I'm saying? The customers are wanting it. I've got just an endless amount of leads that we're generating, and we're by the way offering those to our integrators. But the time is now. It's now, and you don't want to miss this boat because it was a really long time ago in this industry when something this revolutionary and exciting happened. And it probably will be a long time before it happens again. So that's our mission. We'd love to be the partner of every one of them, but just generally, we got to push this category because it's the integrators. There's a lot of success to be had here.
Don't miss the boat. You'll be left at port. So it's awesome. Cool. Well, Skyler, this was incredible, man. I knew it would be. I was excited to get you over here. So glad we found the time and made it happen. So appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your show, and I am absolutely certain we'll be catching up down the line.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is great.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, please subscribe to us on the platform you're listening on. Also, be sure to follow Residential Tech Today on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Residential Tech Talk, vendors, lighting specialists to our residential tech
At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.